Hiya, mate.
You know that's one of my most hated people, don't you?
Who's that?
The taxman.
Oh, yeah. Have we started then yet, Emma? Right.
Well, I'll edit the bits out.
Yeah, no problem.
So just shout.
Right. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. It's me, Brian Cockerill, the Taxman Show. And I've got the best dart player of all time, ever been, ever will be, Phil the Power Taylor. Hello, Phil. Welcome to the show, mate.
Hiya, Brian. Great to talk to you, fella.
Can I just ask you, Phil, when was the first time you threw a dart?
The first time I would have been young, because we lived in a little terraced house in Tunstall, a place called Tunstall in Stoke-on-Trent.
Right.
And we had no TV in them days. So I'd have probably been 3 or 4 years old, to be honest with you, because everything was based around indoor sports because there was no TVs. We didn't even have electric in the house. So that shows you how long ago that was.
Yeah, we had a house with no electric and it was on the A19 up this way, and there was no electric. We just played out and with the trees. We were playing guns with machine guns, but they weren't real. They were just pieces of wood.
Real machine guns.
Yeah, later on in life, allegedly, I had them.
I can remember the toilet in the back of the yard. Yeah, I can remember the sink in the yard as well. In winter, my dad used to have to break the ice on the sink to have a wash before he went to work.
I remember we used to have a tin bath when we lived in Darlington. It was on the wall, and we used to have to put the hot water in it, and we'd all get in the bath. The family, the oldest first, and then someone else would get in. You'd all share the same bath. Yeah. But they were good days because we were out. There was never no kids really overweight in them days because they were always playing on the bikes or running about. And now the kids are just...
No PlayStation in them days, Brian, was there?
No. So, Phil, when was the first time you thought? When was the first time you played for real darts? When was the first time you started?
Go back to the terrace. Remember the doors were never locked. And I say to my mother, "How come you never locked the doors?" She says, "Because we've got nothing, Nick."
Yeah,
nothing to
good one. Yeah,
that's true, though, isn't it? I mean, and all the neighbours used to help each other out. Like if I was ill, or my mother was ill. One of the neighbours would look after me. One of the neighbours had cut my dad's sandwiches up. We called it snapping in Stoke-on-Trent. So one of them would do my dad's snapping for work. Another one would cook my dad's tea. That kind of thing. They were proper communal people there. Neighbourhoods were brilliant in them days. Yeah. Whereas now, I don't even know who my neighbours are. I know the first name, but I don't really know them. It's ever so strange now.
Years ago, you'd go knock on a door for a bit of sugar, wouldn't you? Or a bit of sugar or a bit of milk.
Anything.
Yeah.
I remember my mother sending me the shop, and everything was on credit. Can you put it on my mum's tick? You know what I mean? Put it on tick. Yeah. And then every Friday when my dad got paid, she paid it off.
Yeah. Well, we used to
go. Me and my mother used to go collect copper wire off the tips and everything.
Yeah.
Around the fields.
To live. You had to live. Everyone had to do it.
Well, my dad's wages only lasted till Thursday. So for Friday, before he got paid, we used to go and collect copper wire, burn the plastic off, and then go and weigh it in. Yeah. And make a couple of shilling, ready for food on the Friday.
I've been on a few roofs, pinching the lead myself.
Have you?
Yeah. So when
Can't
you
do that no more, bud.
When I was talking to you before, you were saying there was you and another guy doing really well in the darts, but Cockney give you a sponsorship or something. You were saying, could you just let the folks know?
Yeah, I tell you, the fella Eric had it when he had dartitis. Him and Maureen were together. Then Maureen Flowers. And he wanted to go and sponsor somebody. So they had two people in mind. They had me, because I was a little cocky. I was cocky like him and a bit aggressive towards people because I wanted Wincy. I wanted to earn the money. And then also there was a fellow named Dennis Hickling from Yorkshire. He was a good little player as well, Dennis was. But me being a local lad, I think it swung it for me. So Eric, he sponsored me roughly, I'd say, about £10,000.
Right.
To travel the world, from America to Canada, Finland, Denmark, Sweden. I mean, it was great. I mean, I remember taking loads of photographs. The first aeroplane I've ever been on, the first hotel I've ever stayed in, was when I played in the county. I thought I can get used to this.
When was the first one?
It was always on condition that I paid him back, which was the best thing he ever did.
Yeah.
So if he walked in the room and I was sitting down talking,
right,
I got it. He'd give me a rollicking. He'd say, "What are you sitting with them lot for? They're not your mates. You owe me." And he'd say it in front of everybody as well. He was so bloody honest, if you know what I mean. He'd say, "Listen, Taylor, you owe me 7,400 quid. What are you doing sitting down there?" I say, "Eric, I've been practicing for 2 hours. Shut up." Never mind, shut up, get on that practice board. So even when he wasn't sponsoring me, if he walked in the room, I'd get up, start practicing.
Right.
Because he'd give me that dirty look. What are you doing sitting down there? What are you doing talking to that lot? Because he never thought the players were friends. You know, he thought they're all enemies. So you've got to get yourself right.
You think he was right there?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I always said, if you want the England football team to start winning, put out Eric as manager, because he'll motivate you, trust me.
Yeah.
He can also be the nicest fellow you've ever met in your life as well.
Right, yeah.
I used to call him Jekyll and Eric.
Jekyll and Eric.
I did, because I used to say to him, which one are you now, Jekyll or Eric? You go, Eric now. I'll be Jekyll at 10 o'clock when I've had about 6 pints.
Yeah. Did you, what was the first competition you won?
The first one, there used to be a darts magazine called Darts World, and they used to advertise, counties did, where you could enter, you could pay something like £10 and enter tournaments, or 5 in them days. Like the first one was the Derbyshire Open,
right?
And it was £500 for the winner. My dad drove me. He paid me entry fee. My dad did. He drove me there. It was only about an hour's drive for me, and I won it. And I can remember they paid me. They paid you in cash in them days. Right. And I went looking for the organizer. I said, "Where's the organizer, please?" He says, "Why? What's up?" I said, "I need a quick word with him." He says he's in the office there, and it's like I think it was like a school. So I've gone in there. I said, "Can I have a word with you, mate?" He paid me in £50 notes.
Right.
See, he got 10 £50 notes. And I said, "What's this? This you've given me here?" He says, "What are you on about?" I said, "This here, what's this?" I was going to jump over the table and grab him. He says, "That's your money. I said, that's not money. I've never seen that. What's that?" I said, "You can buy a terrace house in Burslem for 50 quid. So he says, honestly, he was laughing. He says, "That's legal tender." My dad had never even seen a £50 note.
No.
So that was the first one. I think the second one was Lincolnshire. It's what's it called? Near Butlins. I can't think what you call it. Skegness. And I think that was £750, I think.
Right.
So it was fantastic. Where I was working and earning like £70 a week, I was entering these little tournaments and winning 500. And what we used to do, because I had a little terraced house in Burslem, then in Blake Street in Burslem, I paid 7,500 for it. So, but we hadn't got anything. Everything was second hand given to us. Like we had the old army blankets and the coats on the bed and stuff like that. So my first wife, I said to her, "What do we need now?" She said, "What we could do with some saucepans, some new saucepans." So I looked at the prize money and thought, if I get to the last 8, I can buy the saucepans. And that's how I did it. So I was always motivating myself to earn money.
I understand that, yeah.
So I get to the semi-final. I think, right, I can buy them new towels now. She's after as well. And then the next tournament, I say, "What do we need now? We need carpets, duvets on the bed." I thought I'd won the lottery. Seriously, it was brilliant to have a duvet instead of having like 10 blankets on your bed, because we had no central heating, and then the windows were rubbish, drafty. And then I remember having a shower from British Gas. I'd got something like £550 at the bank, and this shower was about 480 quid. So I said, "Come on, we'll have a shower," because I kept having baths all the time and getting colds, getting chills on me. So I had a shower, and everyone in the street wanted to come and look at my shower.
Oh my God!
It was all the power shower, so you could fire it at the kids. Like it was
you named the power.
I know, yeah, it was brilliant, honestly. So I was going through the house, and then eventually I thought, well, I'm going to try and earn enough money now to buy the house or buy another house, and that's how I did it. I just kept pushing forward.
Right.
And I was always one for practice. So when Eric sponsored me, the first one was a place called Moncton in Canada. And we went about 5 days early. We practiced together, and I ended up winning it. Right. Which that then put me into the World Championships, last place.
Right.
And then the rest is history, really. I went there, I won that. I beat Bob Anderson in the final. That put me into World Championships, and I won that one. I beat Eric in the final. And after that, then, I think the first year, I entered something like 50 competitions and won. I think I won 48 of them. So I was picking money up every week.
I think you won
brilliant, like.
There was 13 world titles you won in a row.
No, the world titles in a row. Yeah. The world title, 8 years on the trot.
Right, but you were
95 to 2000 and something.
You ranked them or one
2003.
Ranked.
And then I lost in the final the year after, which I should have won. I threw it away. But it was a lot of pressure off me, Bride. There was a lot of pressure off me. a lot of jealousy, a lot of backbiting. You know what I mean? It was getting to me a little bit.
Have
But
you
I was
noticed?
relieved then to lose it.
Have you noticed
And
the
then-
more successful you get, though, Phil? Even family members get jealousy, don't they? The more money you make and you're a bit successful, people seem to get this green streak in them, don't they?
Yeah, good.
I don't
You
like
know
that.
what, though?
They don't even know you and they call you.
The best thing Eric Bristow ever said to me, you know, Bri, he says, when the players are not speaking to you, that means you're good. He
Yeah,
says, and then all of a sudden, he said, if they start talking to you and start offering you buy you a drink, that means you're playing crap. And I remember I'd lost in a few tournaments, and then all of a sudden, all the players are talking to me, and it dawned on me.
yeah,
I
he's
thought,
right.
hey up,
He's right.
hey up, you're being friendly, you're being friendly, you're being friendly. That means I'm no good.
Yeah,
So I got back on the practice board, reinvented myself because I'm always pushing forward all the time,
yeah.
and made sure I got back to the top again. And it was a fella named Peter Manley, because I used to take the dartboard off the wall.
Yeah, I know you
get,
just signed
get the
it.
players
Yeah,
to
you
sign
signed
it.
it. Yeah, that's right.
Give it a young kid in the audience, see.
I know, I remember that. Always.
And he did it on me, beat me, took the dartboard down off the wall. I thought, you little son,
Yeah,
that'll never happen again. And that was the bet. And after that, he did that, and I won over £1 million that year in prize money. And I remember saying to Peter Manley, "That's the Peter Manley million." That is.
you were actually,
It was brilliant. Like,
you were actually quicker than Usain Bolt to get to that dartboard to take off and sign it. Yeah, what was the
but
best?
you know what? Over the years,
Yes.
Bri, I've had people tap me on the shoulders at exhibitions. Let's
Yeah.
say Middlesbrough or Newcastle, or whatever. And as I've turned round, there's a big lad standing there like yourself, and I said, "Hello, can you remember me, Phil?" "No, who are you?" "You said that I was that little lad you brought on stage. I was only 9 then." I'm
Yeah,
going, "You're kidding." He's
brilliant.
about 6'4" now.
Yeah,
I went, "Wow, how good's that?" I know the little memories like that are great
Yeah.
in my life. Now I'm retired anyway.
What was the first title the best one you won?
The first one, I was a bit choked up, to be quite honest with you. I won it, but I was a bit choked up because I thought I've done everything. I've reached my dreams now, and I've done everything, and I can now go and earn a living for the rest of my life. Whereas before, you're always working living week to week.
Yeah.
But my favourite one, I think, was matching Eric. My first one's always going to be the best, matching Eric, and then beating Eric's record. That was probably my favourites. And then obviously the prize money came in when it was getting up to £200,000-300,000. It's mad, it's crazy money, And then you can look after your parents. Unfortunately, my parents died at the wrong time, really,
Right. Yeah.
when I started earning the proper money.
Yeah.
But we've done okay though.
What do you think when they stopped the drinking on the stage? Do you think it was better, or some players were better drinking? Weren't they? Jockey Wilson was good.
I mean, we used to play in the pubs and clubs.
Yes.
I started playing in a little working men's club at Beersham Central, right by Port Vale football ground, it is. And I used to play on a Tuesday with my dad. He just said, "Come on, come out," because I never went out really. I was working all the time because with having children.
Yeah.
And started playing on a Tuesday and started beating the best players around. And I'm thinking, I'm actually good at this. I knew I was good at darts, but I went boxing, football, golf, snooker, but I was average really, not very good. So, but darts, I could just win. And I really honestly only did it for earn money. That's the only reason I did it. I mean, trophies are great, but you can't eat trophies.
No.
So I thought, the money you can use for food for the kids and everything, and put shoes on the feet, I suppose. So that was my main reason. If I didn't earn money with it, I wouldn't have played. I wouldn't have played long. Let's put it that way.
What was the toughest opponent you had?
The toughest would have been Dennis Priestley,
Right.
because he was good but very slow.
Right.
So when Dennis used to be playing, you'd be thinking about, shall I go on holiday next week? But during his throw, to be thinking, have I paid my tax this week? Have I got the VATs next month? And all of a sudden it's your go. So your mind would start wandering.
Yeah.
And then you have quick players where they speeding you up. That gets you out of breath a little bit because it's your go. By the time you walk back, it's your go. They go bump, 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 dead fast. You think, slow down a little bit.
I remember later.
So you have to get experienced on this.
Right. Yes.
So during Dennis's throw, what I used to do was take a longer walk behind.
Right.
So I'd walk to the drinks table, turn around, and come back again. So it was next to like 5 or 6 seconds walking around in a circle, and then it was my go. So that's the way I got over that.
Psychologically, you're actually doing something, so you're not thinking about.
Yeah. Do something so that you don't think about that. So you're thinking about something else, and not being on holiday or not buying a new house or whatever.
Who was the most friendliest you probably had? It was Jockey Wilson, you said?
Jockey was my pal.
Yeah.
Loved Jockey to bits. We used to play pairs together. I've had some really, really good times with Jockey. He made me laugh.
Yeah.
But he was another one. He was like a bottle of pop.
Right.
You know, if somebody says the wrong thing, he was only small, but by heck, you try grabbing him when he kicked off. He was like a little bulldog.
Yeah.
But a great company to be with again.
Yeah.
Loved Jockey. Got on with most of them really, but a lot of them were associates. You know, like Keith Daller's a good friend, but we're more associates. You know what I mean? We wouldn't go out drinking together.
Right.
Stuff like that, the odd time. But we all live in different places, really.
Yeah.
But it was more friendlier when I was with the BDO than when I got with the PDC because there wasn't as much money in it then. Right. And we used to all pool together as well. So 2 or 3 people, say me and you were rooming together. I say, shall we split this weekend, Bryce? So you were a good player, I'm a good player. So if I'd earned 2,000 and you'd earned 3,000, we had 2,500 each. Right. That's how we used to do it in them days.
Have you ever got mixed up with the darts when you've got knowing you had the dartboard of what you're going for?
Every week.
Was that on the drinking days or was that not the drinking days?
Both. But sometimes I do it on purpose.
Some players were actually better when they drank.
I know. They were, yeah. You do need a couple of drinks, I'll be quite honest with you. Especially, you know, you're on your own up there, you're in front of thousands of people, you're aiming for a tiny little target.
Yeah.
So a little nerve settler doesn't do you any harm, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
But some of the older players did overindulge, like, I'll be honest.
One of my mates played darts and I super glue. He said to me, Brian, why did you super glue my dart? I said, you just can't let it go, can you? Have you heard of that thing, Phil, where dart players can't let go of the dart?
Dartitis, yeah.
No, it's called.
It's in a lot of sports, that does.
Is it?
It happens in snooker, it happens in golf, it happens in darts. Yeah, it's just pressure, I think. Just pressure. That's all it is. So, but you have to figure out a way of getting over it. You can.
Right.
There was a fellow once played for Wales. He's died now, bless him. But he got dartitis. So he learned to play left-handed and qualify for Wales, play for his country left-handed as well.
That's unbelievable.
Brilliant.
I couldn't make that up. Yeah, I think Leighton Rees was the best Welsh player ever, wasn't he?
He was a lovely style with Leighton. Great style, proper gentleman. Yes. Really, you know, no thinking with Leighton. He used to come, when I had my pub, he used to come to the pub.
Yes.
Because he used to have a tournament at Trentham Gardens called the Gold Cup. From all the different county players would have qualified. So when I had a pub, they used to all come to my pub on a Friday night and have mate, I've had some right good times with them. But Leighton was always the one after, come on now, last orders. I want a kebab. I need a kebab. He said, get me a kebab. So I used to have to take him get a kebab because I wasn't drinking, see. He was good like that, Leighton.
I remember his darts were huge. When he thought, you're not going to get 3 darts in there the size of them. Like the one
he did.
Yeah,
I'll tell you. And Alan Evans was another player. I don't know if you remember Alan Evans. He's passed away now. I'd Leighton has.
Yeah.
But he was a brilliant player, Alan. If anybody like myself had got hold of Alan and managed him, got him, he'd have been world champion multiple times. He would. Yeah.
So Eric, was he's the one who gave the inspiration. Did he give you any more tips? What other players can learn off you?
You can't really give anybody tips. You can motivate them.
Right, is that it? Motivation.
It's not like boxing, or you can devise something to make it practicing, because practicing is boring. You know, doing the same thing over and over and over, walking there, walking back. But if you can do different practice regimes and do different times of the day as well, because darts isn't all about one time, see. Like we play a players' championship, you start at 12 in the morning. So you're up about 7 for breakfast, get back to your hotel room, shower, change, then get down to the venue. I used to like be there 2 hours early to warm up. So you're there at 10 o'clock in the morning. And then the week after, I'll be playing, say, at the World Match Play, and I might not be on till 10 o'clock at night.
Right.
So it's so you spent a lot of time. This lockdown for me has been simple because that's been my life for years.
Yeah.
Sitting in hotel rooms.
I'm going to ask you about the 9-darter you did twice in a row. How did you do it?
During the final.
Yeah.
What was it? Premier League. Do you know what, Brian? I'm hopeless.
Yeah, I was watching.
Bob, who looks after me, he's 10 times better than me. He tells me all my stats. I'm the worst one to ask, honestly, because I played in that many tournaments.
Yeah.
But that 9-dart, it got cancelled the night before because all the electric went out at Wembley Conference Centre. And then John McDonnell, bless his heart, they had something like, I don't know, 7,000 people, 8,000 people outside ready to kill somebody. And he went out and tell him it's off, come back tomorrow. But he did it and then that was when I clicked. It just come together.
Right.
But it was a tough game. You always do. You always have like a boxer will always have his best fight is when you've got a good opponent against you as well. If it's a walkover, it's rubbish really. But that game was fantastic. I only won something like 11-9 or 10-8 or 10-9 or something like that. It was a really close match. So the 9 darters didn't mean anything really.
Right.
But probably the best game I've ever had in my career.
Yeah, it was great. The average was unbelievable, wasn't it? Yeah. So what do you do now then, Phil? What you do to keep yourself busy now?
What I've been doing, I'm doing stuff for online betting companies. I'm still sponsored by Target, my sponsors. I'm doing a bit with BetBull. I've just done some videos now. There's my shirt with BetBull on it. Loads of things, really. I've got a lot of properties which I rent out. So last week I was putting new soffits, fascia board, guttering up.
I enjoyed mind occupied.
Yeah. And then yesterday I was sanding some woodwork down and painting it. And I've done the sheds. I've got a nice new shed on one of them. So I've done that in Seekins, a thing called Seekins, which I'll do another coat tomorrow.
Is that where we never asleep when we come?
And then I'm getting myself ready, Bri, for that new tournament called the World Seniors, which is in February.
Right, that'll be good.
So I'm going to start properly, maybe at the end of this month, beginning of August. I'll start practicing because otherwise it's too early. So it's February. I think it's February the 2nd at the Circus Tavern, and then in Purfleet.
How is your darts these days?
Do you know what? I don't know because I've not thrown a dart for about 3 months.
Right.
But it'll take me, my dartboard actually, Bri, if you have a look. It's on my living room wall.
Right.
So Mrs. has allowed me to put it up, which is unusual. And then I shall start. And there's my hockey on the floor.
Yeah.
Which I push the settee over.
You must trip over that.
So I'll start properly on. I'll go down to my sponsors. I've got some new darts and a new shirt coming out. I'm going to see him on Monday, do some promotion work. So I'm going to go down to Harlow on Monday, and then I'll start properly when I get back.
Yeah, brilliant. Who's your favourite player of all time then?
I had a few, really.
Right.
I like Jockey.
Yeah.
Eric, I loved Eric's confidence. With me, when I first started, I had a mixture. So I loved John Lowe's style. I thought he was a fantastic player to watch. I loved Eric's will to win.
Right.
Also liked Jockey because he was a character. Big Cliff. I used to like Big Cliff Lazarenko. I loved his style as well. You got to love the style. I always knew that if you want to be good at whatever you do, you've got to have a style, a good style. The players that have got a bit of a strange style always win something, but they'll never be consistent.
Right.
You've got to have that right style. You'll see it in boxing the same. You'll see the style of somebody like Muhammad Ali or Floyd Mayweather. Say, they and Manny Pacquiao. They're gonna do well because they've got that good style.
Yeah. So, what was your favourite? Tournament? Title tournament was the one when you did 2 9 darts. Did you say?
Well, that was the Premier League, and that was a strange tournament. That was because that was over like 15 weeks.
Right.
So you had to play well every week to qualify, and then when you got down to the semi-final, it was played at the O2 at the time. So then you went semi-final and a final. So it was over 15 weeks. So that was a tough one. The World Championships is always going to be the creme de la creme.
Yeah.
But my favourite was Blackpool, the Winter Guardians. I just love Blackpool for some reason or other. And it was summer. Like the World Championships is in January. So it's cold. You can't go out during the day. But Blackpool, I got a nice holiday home on a campsite, beautiful, with a big veranda, sitting, looking at a lake with fountains and everything else. So I absolutely loved it up there. Well, that was my favourite one because it was summer and you could go sit outside.
Me and Emma from Redcar, you see. So it used to be there every year.
I know Redcar.
Yeah, the darts used to be there, the world title every year at the Court and Ball.
I used to stay in a pub there for Gary Pursley. He used to wait for your brewery.
Gary Pursley, and Wayne Pursley.
Yeah, Gary.
Yeah.
He used to put me in a pub just off the town centre, and they had like an accommodation upstairs.
Mermaid.
Was it the Mermaid?
Could be.
Yeah, the Mermaid.
I'd come out and come out the front door, do a left, and you go down towards the town centre.
Yeah, it's a Mermaid.
And then do a right, and you'd head towards the coast, I think.
Yeah,
I
that's
used to
it.
stay there all the time.
Cocktail.
Is it the Park Hotel?
Could be. Could
Yeah, I
be. I
think
can't
it's that,
remember
yeah,
the name of it.
that's
But
only
I'll
two.
find out and I'll text you, Brian.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll text Gary after this.
Well, I'll have to let you go. I'll have to let you go because you're busy, and Bob will go mad if I don't let you go. So,
You're all
anything
right
to
for 10
say?
minutes, yeah? You're all
Oh, you're
right.
all right for 10 minutes. Oh, brilliant, brilliant. I just don't want Bob on my case. You know what he's like.
Oh, he's all right. Don't worry about him. I fed him anyway. He's all right now. He's asleep.
I'll come back in 10 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. So,
I used to call in, see Chubby as well. You know, Roy.
you know, I don't know. Yeah, I know him very well.
I
Yeah,
used to pop in, see him on the way past. He was good company. I enjoyed Roy.
yeah, he's funny. He's just like us. Just like a lad off of a council estate. He hasn't changed. The money hasn't changed him. You haven't changed with the money. You're just the same.
No. Have you ever read Roy's book, right?
I've read a couple of them. Yeah.
Good. Very, very good. He had a tough upbringing, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. I'll tell you, sorry.
Anybody watching, I recommend it.
He actually hit a lad with a machete in Redcar years ago, about 35 years ago, and he was up. He did it with it, and 12 stitches he got. And me and my friend got him £50 to stitch the lad off Chubby to drop the charges.
Oh dear.
So it's yeah, it's well known. Everyone knows the story, but allegedly again. Yeah. So what
I used to,
what about the missus?
Blackpool, we used to stay in a lovely hotel on a golf course called De Vere.
Right.
And I used to nick his room because Chubby had his own, but like a suite there. I used to nick it. I used to book it up, knowing he'd go mad. He used to come down the breakfast room and give me hey Taylor, you nicked my room again. You have. Sorry, Roy.
I'll have to tell your grandson to leave your Maltesers alone.
I know he's there now. Matthew is. Boy, Brian says, "Leave my Maltesers."
Hiya, son. Yeah, how's the
He's
missus?
always nicking me. I don't get any chocolate now.
How's the missus?
She's fine. Yeah. She's great. Yeah, she's looking after the grandson today.
Right.
Little Carter. Yeah. Because his mum's a care worker, so once a week we have him. Like, he's a good lad.
Yes,
he's down in his own house today.
Yeah, the thing about you is I think you won so many titles because you're always smiling. I say to people, if you smile and you're happy, your mind's happy, your mindset's happy. When you're sitting miserable,
you're not under pressure.
Yeah, you're not under pressure.
But
yeah.
it was always with me, Bri. I always lost when I didn't prepare properly.
Right.
I used to phone my sponsor and say, "I'm ever so sorry." And they go, "What for?" I said, "Because I didn't prepare properly." And that's not fair on you because they have to earn money to pay you.
Right.
Which they always did, don't get me wrong, but I didn't like it. If I was tired, I've been traveling too much and I didn't practice properly, I used to hate it. So I always made sure I got me right practicing. You've got to prepare proper.
I remember seeing you used to practice at your mum's every day, didn't you?
Oh, every day.
Every day, yeah.
But I'd also practice at like 11 o'clock at night because I knew you wouldn't be practicing at 11 o'clock at night.
Right.
New Year's Eve, when I had my little terrace house, because the dartboard was the side of the bed, I used to go up and hit something like 5 180s before I went to sleep. So it started at 12 o'clock, which is the new year.
Yeah.
I've got to hit 5 180s then. Sometimes I could do it in half an hour. Sometimes it'd take me 2 hours.
Right.
And I knew then I was the first person to hit 5 180s in the new year. Because I knew Eric used to do 2. So I thought I'll double yours and do 5. So I'm one up on you.
Yeah, that's great. I was going to say, so what are you doing for the future then? Just doing what you're doing now because you seem to be happy and everything's flying.
Yeah, the exhibition circuit's starting up again because obviously lockdown's easing, hopefully anyway. I've got four person. Bob's just told me I got 4 this year, and then next year it'll be personal appearances. But I'm not doing as many now. Probably 10 a year at the most. And then we got them tournaments coming up where we're doing the Legends thing, Right. So. And I think it'll take off. The interest in it's been fantastic, because they're all most of the players in it, everybody that today now, like Bob says, why didn't you have a word with your betting company so you can have a gamble on the darts now? You're not playing. Yeah. I said, but I don't know half the players. I don't know who these are anymore. Like 128 players, I probably know 30 of them. So I'd be no good at gambling on darts anyway. I'm better at gambling on football.
I think the old school, like the jockeys and yourselves and Eric Bristow and all, they all had character in them.
Yeah. John Lowe's playing in February. Yeah, Jockey was a proper character. He was brilliant. I could tell you some stories about. I'll have to tell him when I see you.
Yeah, when you come to see us.
Yeah, I'm definitely coming up.
Yeah,
now I've got a bit of time off. I'll definitely come up, honest to God, in the next couple of weeks because one of my best mates is from Barney Castle.
Right.
You know Starford Prison?
No. One of them I
You
haven't
don't
been
know that
in.
one. You
That's
haven't
one I haven't been
been there. Not yet.
No.
It's a young offenders one. It's Barnard Castle, so I'm going to see Colin, my mate. I haven't seen him for about 2 or 3 years
Right.
with lockdown and everything. And then I'll pop up and see if that's okay.
What do you think about our dart player, Glenn Durrant? Does it?
Love him. Love
Yeah.
him. Very, very honest. Love the lad. Struggling a little bit at the minute.
Yeah.
You know, he's got to get his head right. If his head's right, you're in trouble. He's a very good player, this guy.
Nice man.
But at the minute, he's just struggling a little bit. Since this COVID's knocked him sideways.
Right.
He hasn't been the same since. But
Right.
you know, his experience. When I talk to him, he says, "Oh, don't mention darts, Phil." I said, "I'm not interested in darts. I've retired." You know, it's up to you. I said, "You'll get ready when you get ready yourself. I can't, you know, lead a horse to water, make you drink type of thing." I said, "You'll do it when you're ready." But I'll pop in and see Glenn when I'm up because I do like Glenn.
Yeah, we'll get him here. We'll come see us, can't you? Both of you.
Definitely.
We'll have a
Call
drink.
his missus lager. Likes a drink.
Yeah, brilliant.
Oh, definitely. Honest to God, I'll be up.
Well, okay, well, thanks for being on the show today. I can't believe you've been here. You're my favourite
Welcome,
player
mate,
of all
anytime,
time.
you know that.
You're my favourite
All right,
sportsman of all time. You're a great bloke, and we love you. We love
All
your
right,
family
bud.
and everything.
See you in a bit,
So-
buddy.
Okay, say God bless.
Take care.
Bye now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.